Okay, guys, it is FanExpo 2024. We are the Geeks & Company. We're trying to talk to as many of the comic book creators as we possibly can to get focused back on that. We have been having a bit of a ghost machine thing going on there, too. We've managed to talk to some of the other creators involved. This man, though, needs no introduction. He is the former CCO of DC Comics, former executive producer and writer of the DCEU stuff, and now one of the driving forces behind Ghost Machine is Geoff Johns, everybody. Jeff, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I did want to hit you with that first. You do appreciate the struggle of going through as a Geoff through your whole life.
I do. From the pronunciation of people to dinner reservations, I just don't bother correcting them. I just let it J-E-F. I just let it be Jeff. With a J.
It's such a daily hassle every time I go through a drive.
It's a hassle.
I'm not going to take up a bunch of your time. I know you've been busy. You've been absolutely swamped here the whole time. As far as coming to a Canadian con and getting a chance to feature your former work and the Ghost Machine stuff, what's it been like coming to Canada and FanExpo 2024?
Well, I have Toronto. I've been here a lot, shooting here. Like we shot Titans here, Shazam here. Francis Manipul lives here. Jason Fabach is over in Ontario, Windsor. So coming back to Toronto is great. I love the area, but I've loved this city. I've spent a lot of time here. Great restaurants too.
Yeah, absolutely. The food's pretty phenomenal. Let's talk about Ghost Machine. That's kind of why we're here today, to help promote that. Creator-owned, being helped through Image Comics, and you've managed to assemble a team. How did you get all these top-level creators to get on board with Ghost Machine and have this new initiative with you?
Well, it wasn't me getting everyone on board. Honestly, Gary Frank and I were doing a book for Image, Geiger, and it was great. And then Jason and I started talking about what we would do for Image with Rook, and Brian Hitch and I were talking about it, and then Tomasi and Francis, and we were all just talking about why we wanted to do it and what we wanted to do now. And I love superheroes, but we want to do something slightly different. And after Batman 3 Jokers, Jay was like, okay, I've done Batman, I've done Joker. That's what, to me, that's the pinnacle of DC. I want to do something new now. And Gary had done the same thing after Doomsday Clock. He's like, I want to do something new. So doing something new, Image Comics is the place to go for creator-owned and creator-controlled stuff. But the conversations came out from Image's foundation over 30 years ago. These 7 artists who came together to form this company and unite. And we looked at that and we said, we want to do the same thing. We want to be this generation's Image 2.0. But we're going to do it slightly different, where we all co-own everything and we're all in it together. And because we've worked together for so long and there's a mutual respect amongst us, it took a long time to kind of build the business, because we were very meticulous on that and build our publishing plan and our titles. And Jay and I have been working on Rook for over 2 years. But when we announced this, we wanted to announce not just hey, we're forming something, but hey, we're doing Geiger and Redcoat and Rook and Hyde Street and Rockefellers and Hornsby and Halo, and announce the first wave of books, the creators, the characters. So we did that, but it wasn't, okay, let's start something. It came out of conversations over literally a year, and then it took about 2 years to solidify it and build it and then announce it. And now it's I was talking to Todd at San Diego, and he said, what's the hardest thing? And I said, well, the hardest thing was building it before we announced it. Because a lot of people it's a lot of risk, right? You're jumping into creator-owned books with new characters and new things. But this is what we wanted to do, and now that we've launched it and we're into it, I mean, it's super fun.
And everybody that we've talked to, Jay and Brad, had mentioned, like you were saying, it's much more of a collaborative effort. It's not one guy on top, like an editor-in-chief, pointing down, do this, because it's all collaborative, because it's all creator-owned. Why was that important to you for Ghost Machine moving forward?
Well, it was important for me because comic books have always been a collaboration. Batman 3 Jokers was a collaboration between myself and Jay, editor Brian Cunningham, who's our editor-in-chief now at Ghost Machine, Brad Anderson, Rob Lee, all of us contribute our part to the book, but we're all trying to make the same book. We're all talking about what is this book. I don't just send a script in and Jay just draws it and then Brad just color. We talk about it. Jay and I would talk every other day about the book and what the scenes were and why the book's going to be this way and why we're telling the story. And because it wasn't just a Batman Joker story to us, it was a personal story. But also that's what you do when you collaborate. I think a lot of people misinterpret creative control as hey, it's everything I say, and it's not. Creative control to us is collaborating and working with the people that we trust and believe in, and then help elevate the books. So like Jay always elevates my scripts, and Brad elevates his art, and then Rob elevates all the dialogue because it looks cool reading it. Like I actually think a lot of people undervalue lettering, because what Rob does is incorporate it into the art. It becomes part of the art. And I've seen bad lettering and I've seen good lettering, and Rob's the best. Yeah, and then Brian Cunningham always has notes on everything. He's like, hey, think about this, what about this? They're very smart and he cares about it. So everyone's fully invested in not just the material, but each other. That's why it's important, because Ghost Machine only exists because of the people that are part of it. And that's what we want. We want this to only exist, just like Spawn only exists because of Todd.
Right, yeah.
We want our stuff to exist only because of the talent that we have.
Because you'd mentioned it was kind of like Image 2.0, the way you guys kind of went out on your own and did a creator-owned. As far as the state of the industry goes overall, is this something that you'd like to see happening more and more often, sort of breaking away a little bit from the big two and starting to do creator-owned titles? Are you guys hoping to like kind of re-trailblaze what Image did all those years ago?
I think what we want to do is like Todd and the team did before us, Robert Kirkman, and Skybound. We want to show people, just be another example of, look, it's possible. It can work. Like, take the leap. It is scary to take the leap because it's new and it's your own thing, but it's worth it. And I'm telling you, from this side of it, it's really worth it. So on every single level. So yes, we hope we inspire individual creators. We hope we inspire another collective of creators that are like us, but to do it, to take on this yourself. And Image Comics is the best partner for that, because a creator owns 100% of it. And they help support creators. They help distribute the books. They're amazing, Eric and his team. It is possible. And there's no other outlet out there that is 100% creator owned. Right? Where the creator retains all the rights. Yeah. Image Comics is it. That's what they do. You got it like that. Every place else, we know the contracts. All of us have been approached by those places. There's a lot of great people there, but it's not true creator ownership.
So that's where you would like to see it go moving forward.
I would like to see creators have true creator ownership, full creator ownership, and I would like to see more people make that jump because they can do it. Everyone has the talent to do it.
What can people see now from Geoff Johns for Ghost Machine? What books are you working on right now that people are going to be able to pick up at their local comic book shop?
I'm working on Geiger, with artist Gary Frank, and it takes place 25 years from now after a nuclear world war. And it's about a father and a husband who's become this radioactive man who wanders the desert now that his family's perished, punishing those people he thinks deserve it. He's a guy caught between sympathy and savagery, I say, because he's very caring of people and things, and from his two-headed dog Barney to his new companion, this guy Nate. But he's very savage if you screw with him or people he cares about. And so I like that contrast, because I find that caring for something is both about love and about protection, and sometimes they don't totally match up. I'm doing Redcoat with Brian Hitch, which is about an immortal British redcoat soldier from the American Revolution. A lot of fun. He teams up with a 13-year-old Albert Einstein and Benedict Arnold, who's another immortal. It's in the tone of Pirates of the Caribbean or Indiana Jones, a lot of fun. Then with Jason Fabach doing Rook Exodus, which is a sci-fi book. Takes place in the far future. And coming on in October, I'm teamed up with my Blackest Night artist, Ivan Reese. Oh my gosh. And we're launching a new kind of horror book called Hyde Street that I love, like classic horror, like the Universal Monsters and Twilight Zone and Black Mirror. And so it's kind of in the vein of that, but it's got an epic backdrop like Blackest Night that we're creating. So it's both an anthology and a serialized horror title. But that's Hyde Street. That's out October 2nd. So I'll be doing those 4 books for Ghost Machine, and then we're launching a couple new titles: The Rockefellers by Peter Tomasi and Francis Manipul, and Hornsby and Halo by Peter Tomasi and Peter Snaberg. Those come out in November, just in time for Thanksgiving. And we got some more stuff on the way.
And if people want to get involved, they want to get some Ghost Machine titles, or they want to see what's available, what's the best way for them to go about doing that?
Ghost Machine Pro at Instagram or ghostmachinepro.com. Our books are only on issue 4 or 5, so they're still brand new, and you can find them at your local shops.
Awesome. Guys, Geoff Johns, the man, the myth, the legend, thanks so much for sitting down with us today and talking to us. We really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure to meet another.
We are few and far between. Thanks again, guys. Stay geeky, everyone. We'll see you at the next one.